You're watching Stripped Down Live, Saskatchewan's only 1 hour local music showcase. Was it Saskatoon? Is it Saskatchewan? We're all over Saskatchewan. Hey, we're all over the world because we're online. It's the award-winning show that brings the venue to you in the comfort of your own living room. As always, I'm your host, Curtis Anderson. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on Stripped Down Live, Christopher James Vasseur.
Thanks, Curtis. Just a casual observer here, watching all the folks go by. Watch them live their lives every day, how they told us to survive. Seems life is very simple here, kinda blows my worried mind. Though I can sense a darker thread, one that goes for miles and miles. Think I've gotta get away from here, can't keep watching things go by. Maybe I'll come back down the road a ways, by then everything should be just fine. By then everything should be just fine. Don't think they're very happy, the way they're fighting all the time. Think they truly want happiness, they're just too dumb to find it. Think they want to watch the world burn, seems no reason to their minds. They keep getting themselves farther away, fear wealth and power till they die. Think I've got to get away from here, maybe I'll come back down by. Maybe I'll come back down the roadways, by then everything should be just fine. By then everything should be just fine. Think I gotta get away from here, can't keep watching things go by. Maybe I'll come back down the road a ways, by then everything should be just fine. By then everything should be just fine. By then everything should be just fine.
Christopher James Vasseur on Stripped Down Live. Thanks for coming on the show tonight. So
my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
As I stumbled through my intro, I was thinking about horses, and I gotta scratch
Who
the
doesn't?
itch, okay? Secretariat is the name of the horse, also known as Big Red. He was a champion thoroughbred racehorse, regarded as one of the greatest of all times. Not Spider-Man's horse. That was Seabiscuit. Two different horses.
I see.
We can move on now. It was bugging me.
I'm glad we got that solved, because I knew Spider-Man had a horse.
See, this is what happens right before, when we're like standing there waiting for the countdown to go live, and we're just like making awkward conversation. We talked about Prairie Horse Girls, which turned into Seabiscuit, which turned into Secretariat. We're all caught up. Let's talk about some music.
All right.
Christopher James Vasseur, welcome to Stripped Down.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it took a while. Only doing one show a month really, you get a backlog real quick.
I bet, yeah.
But,
well, there's an abundance of talent in these parts, too.
You would think.
Yeah.
But how'd you learn about Stripped Down?
Well, I saw you on the Facebooks and stuff like that,
Okay.
and Instagram. I have a few friends in the industry who've been on the show.
Nice.
And stuff, have nothing but nice things to say.
Well, that's good. They were on some good episodes then. As we steer towards episode 250, it's coming up quick.
Wow.
Probably February, March. I'm going to have to take off my socks and shoes and count them up, but we're getting close. Episode 250. We've been doing this
good for you.
since
That's awesome.
February 2008, with a little bit of a break from 2014 to 2018 before we came back.
Sometimes you need a break.
So what are we going to hear tonight? What was that first song? Beautiful, by the way.
Thanks. That song is called Just Fine, and my bandmates often tell me not to explain to people what it's about.
It's going to be a long hour then if
But,
you're not going to explain your
But
song.
I will, just because
Okay.
I like you guys.
right.
It's silly because it's about if aliens came down and were observing the human race, what they would think of us.
I did not get that.
And yeah,
vibe from
nobody
the,
does. And then they kind of look and go like, this is kind of a train wreck. Maybe we'll go take off, come back. Things should be fine by then.
I was behind the cameras listening to your opening song. I was just completely like this. I just knew this was going to be a good episode. I could just tell when people are like made for this show.
Oh,
And reading your bio.
I do like to talk.
Well, and you're a storyteller. Your songs seem to have stories, which is perfect.
Usually,
and
sometimes
you're
silly ones.
talented, rocking the acoustic guitar. It's going to be a good night.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm
It's
looking
going to be a
forward to
good
it.
hour of television with Christopher James Vasseur. So, obviously, it's live, so we try to make it as interactive as possible. So let's throw it over to our lovely social media correspondent already, the amazing and talented Bryn Kreisa. Bryn, welcome back to Strip Down.
Thanks, Curtis.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Staying healthy? It's not looking
Yes.
good out there.
No, it's not.
Everybody is sick.
Yeah, I know.
Our crew is masked up behind the camera.
I know. I'm trying really hard not to get sick.
We're hanging on.
Yeah.
We got a hot hour of Strip Down despite it being cold out. Everybody made it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thankfully.
What do you got?
Some people are just starting to tune in. So ask Chris a question. We've got a T-shirt here, gift card to Earl's, and some stickers. So some sweet stuff to win. And does Black Beauty count as a famous horse?
Black, yes,
Yeah,
probably. Was that a real
absolutely.
horse though, or was that a fictitious horse?
That's what I'm wondering.
It was a TV show,
It was
wasn't it?
definitely
It
a TV
was.
show.
Movie
It was
or
on YTV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another one.
I feel like we are going to unnecessarily spend a lot of time talking about horses tonight, but
I
Yeah.
kind of want to go ride one now, if I'm being honest.
you should have made an entrance on horseback.
On horseback? Next time.
Episode 250, someone is going to come through that tiny door on horseback.
Or coconuts, if,
With
depending on what the budget is.
Yes, the Monty Python. Wow. You know, 5 minutes ago, horses weren't even on our minds, and now it's like
Here they
taken
are.
over
horse
the
talk
entire-
has completely hijacked. And I can't even remember how we got on the topic of horses, but here we go. Black Beauty, Secretariat,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man's horse Seabiscuit.
Yep.
I wonder who would win in a fight between those three horses. I don't know.
Spider-Man and those three horses?
Spider-Man,
I don't know.
you're slow down. Hollywood can't write this quick enough. Spider-Man 26, him versus Secretariat. I'd pay it. That'd probably be the one I go see in the theater.
I would watch that.
Tobey
I
Maguire
would.
throwing horses around, who like no CGI.
Each
Just-
Spider-Man can fight a different
Oh, we're
horse.
losing Bryn.
Live stunts. I like this.
Let's just continue like this is going well. Sure. Where are we going for song number 2?
Probably a little bit more serious for song number 2.
Okay, that's good. Let's bring this back around. And before you jump into that, we're gonna talk about the people that make this show happen. But first of all, introduce the song.
This one's a brand new one. I've been teasing all week coming on the show that I was going to do a brand new song. This is one that the band's been working on. My father passed away a long time ago when I was a young man, 16, and I've never written him a song, so I thought he deserved a song.
Whoa.
So that's what this one's about.
We will talk about this throughout the hour, but you seem to write a lot of your songs based on experience and
Yeah.
then some alien stuff.
Yeah,
And, yeah, I couldn't quite get a handle on you reading your social media, but that's what makes this show
Well,
exciting.
I'm
We're
all
gonna-
over the place.
We're gonna break it down, but before
Cool.
we hear this next song, we got to give a shout out to the people and businesses that make this show possible, including our title sponsor back for another season, Earl's Saskatoon. They know what's up. They have been continuing their support of local music for 3 or 4 seasons now. So get out there, support Earl's. They make this show happen. And of course, new to the show, Vern's Pizza, making sure everyone gets fed. Hairstyle In, making Bryn and I look as good as possible. And E-West Music. Support our 4 sponsors. They have invested in the local Saskatoon music community, and return the favor when you can. You're also a big wheel down at CFCR, which we'll talk about. So I'm just throwing, this is like a preview of what's going to come in the next 50 minutes. But before we take our first commercial break, let's get to song 2. And we're going to come back focused. No more horse talk. It's all going to be about Christopher James Vasseur.
Oh boy,
Okay?
lucky you guys.
So song number 2.
Yeah, this song's called The Wind, and it goes like this.
gets my way. It's also taken so much, left so much pain. Hear the names pass me by, memories fly away. You've been gone for so long, I still remember your face. On the wind I hear my father's voice as he calls out from the grave. If following your path, my boy, let the breeze show you the way. Lived my life with so much pain, I took an early grave. I push you gently on the back so you don't do the same. I never did mind the wind, never did mind the wind. It's had its time and day. Sad how things turned out, all that slipped away. Once upon a windy day, I look up to the sky, feel your touch upon my shoulder. It makes me wonder why. On the wind I hear my father's voice as he calls out from the grave. You follow in your path, my boy, let the breeze show you the way. Live my life with so much pain, I took to an early grave. Push you gently on the back so you don't do the same. Never did mind the wind, never did mind the wind, never did mind the wind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher James Vasseur.
Jimmy ran out on his own, not more than 12 years old. Stole his daddy's pistol and he stormed off down that road. Off to avenge his family name, he had to make that stranger pay. Drove too fast right into town, he's gonna find that man, shoot him down. He didn't really want to, only felt he had to. Took out his pistol and his heart. His heart skipped a beat. Walked right up the stranger's path, right up to his front door. Couldn't wait to see his face or hear the man's final words. Heard some steps and the door swung out, and Jimmy was stunned to see a little girl with a gun of her own staring down the barrel back at him. She didn't really want to, only felt she had to. She met him with her shotgun and her heart. Her heart skipped a beat. Her heart skipped a beat. Oh, stood there at the door, afraid but resolute. Neither had the nerve to speak, nor the nerve to shoot. Then a bit of time went by and they both began to tie. Little girl, well, she lowered a gun and she gave the boy the smallest smile. They didn't really want to, only felt they had to put down their guns and two hearts scared to be. Two hearts scared to be. Two hearts scared to be.
We're spending 60 minutes with Christopher James Vasseur. Now, I always ask this question just, out of routine, and it makes sense, but I'm actually really, really interested to hear your answer, because song 1 was about aliens.
Yeah.
Song 2 was about your unfortunately deceased father.
Yep.
Where did we go with song 3?
Song 3 has a bit of a funny story.
Okay.
Well, it's not funny.
Funny like a clown?
Funny like a clown.
Ironic. Funny?
I was in Calgary for a long time, and there's a wonderful radio station there called CKUA, community. It's all throughout the province. And they were having a songwriting contest, songs about Alberta. So this song I wrote, and it originally had lyrics that went, and my heart's in Calgary, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oil.
Yeah, and then my heart literally got ripped out of my chest in Calgary. So it didn't really read anymore. I still love Calgary, but when I moved back home, I started thinking about that song, and I'm like, I really want to keep the song, because I really liked the song, but I didn't really couldn't really sell the lyrics anymore, so I rewrote it, and I decided I'd make one about a boy and a girl, and ended up being a statement on gun control. I don't know. Love over guns is the message.
You treated Calgary better than Calgary treated you, essentially.
I think so. I mean, we're friends again now, but...
You started in basements in rock bands, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take me through that evolution, because I don't see that
when
I watch you on the stripped down stage.
Yeah, in Calgary back in the day, we made our claim to fame was that we had 2 shows when we were a rock band playing in basements. We came out of the basement, played one show, it was really good, so we played another show. It really sucked, so we went back in the basement and we never came out again.
Interesting. What was the band?
The band...
Can we find that?
Yeah,
Does it exist somewhere?
I don't really want to tell you.
Okay, that's fair.
if you really, really
but
look,
that's the kind of
it.
stuff people are going to find once you get really famous,
yeah,
right?
That's right. The band was called Silicone.
Silicone.
Yeah.
That's like the most 90s name.
It was a very 90s
Silicone.
Yeah, very 90s name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like kind of like a Creed.
Our logo
vibe
didn't look
almost.
very dissimilar to the
Yeah.
that there.
Nice. Hey now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the move from Calgary to Saskatoon was prompted by negative experiences then? I kind of got that feeling.
Mostly, yeah. Like there was a divorce in there, job change, career change, city change. I lost my grandmother, my uncle, my dog.
So it's time to
I lived
time
out
to
a
start
country.
over.
Yeah, I lived out a country song that year. It was a rough one.
Okay. Well, let's pivot off that topic.
Yeah, let's.
I'm
better now.
Let's get to happier times. Saskatoon. Did you like reinvent yourself musically in Saskatoon as well, or were you kind of doing this before you left, or were you just
doing
like
this a little bit before I left, but not.
took off the tight black T-shirt and the frosted tips from your '90s band and whatever the '90s fashions, the big earring?
That's exact. The flannel, the ripped
flannel.
jeans. Yeah, I still.
I
wear
was
most of
seeing
that
more
stuff.
of like a late '90s Creed, like.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
me some Creed. Creed. Yeah.
My question was,
I forgot the question.
were you doing this type before you moved from Calgary, or did you
a little
hit
bit.
Saskatchewan and reinvent yourself?
I kind of went a lot more country, as I think probably happens to a lot of artists who move here. I've always been more of an acoustic player, but when I came back here, the folk, Americana, roots kind of community here is so big. And I just started, that's kind of the music I've been listening to the last 10 years. So I really started getting more into that and getting away from kind of the rock band stuff. And then here it just kind of, I don't know. I build guitars too, and when I built my acoustic guitar, it kind of became, I don't know, what I just wanted to play all the time.
You're jumping ahead.
Sorry.
I'm going to back up a bit. So
Sorry.
would you call
Plug.
this country? Or is it like country
I don't know.
rock?
Country, rock, alternative.
Because I did not, 3 songs in, I wasn't like, oh man, this is good country.
Yeah, well, I never said that I was country either, and then someone told me, oh yeah, you are country. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm a country artist, but I
Wow, you're just a sponge, hey?
I just do whatever.
I'm going to tell you, you're a hip-hop artist tonight.
Nice! I haven't been a hip-hop artist yet.
I don't hear any country, but that's interesting.
Or alternative folk is what, like, Apple calls us and stuff.
Alternative folk, which I guess is like another word for country. Lines are blurred, man.
Americana's kind of like the
Lines
broad
are blurred.
stroke you can put everything
Or like
under.
that inappropriate song from 2012 by, who's it, Blurred Lines guy?
Oh,
I can't remember
Mr.
now.
Touchy McFeely there.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was, it'll come to me.
I prefer
I'm
Al.
still thinking
Weird
about
Al's
horses.
version.
Yeah. I believe we have a question or two. So let's throw it
Ooh.
over to social media correspondent Bryn Kreisa. Bryn, what are the viewers saying? Who wants to win some Earl's cash?
We've got a couple questions here and comments.
Hopefully it's not about his time in Calgary.
I'm kind of scared. It's probably my Calgary friends.
They're all sending hate mail right now.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't mean you.
No, actually the opposite. Trisha said Saskatoon has embraced you as a great songwriter and luthier. I had to Google this word because I didn't.
That's Guitar Builder.
Yes, so I
Wow.
learned something new today.
Aw, thanks, Trisha.
Yeah, thanks.
A
Thanks for the
luthier?
new.
I think that might
Lu-
be.
Luther?
Luthier.
Luthier.
Yep.
Isn't that the guy that fights Superman?
Yep.
Okay.
One of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's-
lutherie is the art of guitar making. Or not guitar, actually, it started as violins, and then it's just kind of now, it's just kind of covers all stringed instruments.
That's a cool title.
Yeah.
So there is a question. Actually, yeah,
Oh.
there are a few, as I mentioned. Fabian is asking what shows you are playing this month.
Oh, well, hello, Fabian. That could be one of 2 Fabians. that
Friend
are
of the
in
show.
Saskatoon. I actually have a release party on November 25th coming up at that house on H. We're going to release, actually the next song I'm going to play, or we're going to release a single and a music video that day. Yeah, at that show. So that's the next one coming up, and then not really a ton of stuff planned. There's little bits here and there in the works, but that's the
Cool.
only real solid thing we have coming up. That'll be a full band show.
Right on. And there's one more question I wanted to sneak in on the note
oh,
of
sorry.
playing. Calvin is asking what your favorite venue is that you have played or you would like to play at.
Oh, that one's actually pretty easy. The Basement by far.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We were lucky enough to open for the Whiskey Jerks there, and that's just, I love that venue. It just sounds so good, and it's just so intimate there. It's run by great people. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be that one.
yeah, that's a good venue.
I have a 2 Fabian story that I'm not proud of. We have Fabian
told me.
number 2 coming on Stripped Down Live in January.
He's opening the house show on the 25th for me, actually.
And I talked to this poor guy back and forth for 45 minutes thinking it was Fabian 1. And we just kept this conversation going, and I looked like a madman because I was referencing stuff that he clearly had no idea, and I was like, what's wrong with Fabian? I was like,
he
"You were
told
on-
me this story.
You were on the show.
I felt
And I was
so
like-
bad for him.
I was like, well, you should bring Jillian Snyder on. And he was like, I don't
know
who that is. And I was like, what is happening here? And 45 minutes later, I realized this was not the Fabian I thought.
That's happened to him a few times.
Yeah, I felt
Fabian Villeneuve,
really
actually,
bad.
I'll plug him here. Out of Frequency is what he's changing his name to because of that.
I don't blame him.
So
There's
he's-
only been one Fabian for like since the beginning
Yeah.
of time in Saskatoon.
And they're both
music.
sweethearts. And the funny thing is, they're both sweethearts. And they really got to get together and like start their own band.
Yeah,
called
I
the
said maybe
Fabians.
I'll
That
have
would
them
be
both
great.
on for maybe that'll be episode 250. They'll both come in on horses, and then we'll just go back and forth. It'll be like the battle of the Fabians, right?
I can hook you up
We'll
with
have
that.
a voting
yeah.
with horses.
Well, the Fabians.
Before we get to the next song, I just gotta. Now, if you're watching this online and it's not live, if you just tuned in live, this is gonna be right over your head. But if you're watching online, this is gonna make sense. Okay, here we have the official title: Spider-Man versus Secretariat versus Seabiscuit versus Black Beauty in an Every Man for Himself brawl. Marvel Studios presents Unstable.
Oh, I like it.
Huh?
I like it. I like it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Song number 4, sir, before we take our next commercial break. Where are we headed?
Well, as I said, this one's coming out on the 25th at the house show.
Might have to take a beat for our camera folks to stop
playing.
laughing, because that was the funniest thing they've ever heard.
I
rightfully
agree.
so.
It was hilarious.
Right?
I mean, these jokes write themselves.
Right?
It's just so good.
I'm in the wrong industry. Marvel, call me.
Yep. Hook
All
this
right.
guy up, Marvel.
Sorry.
Yeah, anyway, my buddy, this song's called Preacher Man. It's about a person I know in town here, one of my first friends I made. And we're doing a house show on the 25th, and we did a little video that I animated myself poorly, but we're still going to show it, and because it's awesome.
You animated a video?
Yeah.
Like
Stop motion. I drew like a bunch of pictures and just like took a bunch of pictures of him.
that's hardcore. I always try that and I give up after like 2 hours.
Watch the video first.
Oh, that's
But there's a lot of like 1970s Spider-Man where I was just moving the paper
dragging
across
the cell around, the old Incredible Hulk style. Hey man,
That's right. But anyway, this is that song called Preacher Man, and yeah, we recorded this with the Rays guys, with the Rays Recording Arts Institutes of Saskatoon. I do a lot of stuff with them. They're nice enough to invite me back, and that's like Recording Arts Institutes. They just do a lot of like recording. They have motion picture, they have audio, stuff like that. So I've been their guinea pig lots.
And you blew them away with your animation. You were like, guys,
They
pushed everything off the desk.
Have I got an idea?
Here is the future.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher James Vasseur.
Thanks. This song called Preacher Man.
My friend, the preacher man, he always understands. And when he puts his hands up, all the people pray. Pulled a man up off the street, gave him a bed and a bite to eat. Doesn't matter just what you believe, you're in his hands, my friend, the preacher man. My friend, the preacher man, he's got so many plans. How does he spread himself so evenly? Has a house where the people meet, near the end of Avenue Street. There's so much music in the air down there, my friend, the preacher man. He's a person same as you and me, but he shines just a bit more vibrantly, my friend, the preacher man. My friend, the preacher man, he's always got a plan. He always picks his words so carefully. He's got an ear to lend, good advice from the books he's read. His thoughts are in the air for us to see, my friend, the preacher man. He's a person same as you and me, but he shines just a bit more vibrantly, my friend, the preacher man. My friend, the preacher man. My friend, the preacher man. My friend, the preacher man.
We're back with Christopher James Vasseur.
I left my home, 17 years old. Moved west to the city, tried to make it out on my own. Gave it 20 years, gave it all I had. Prospects turned to dust, I had to play different hand. Wandered all around the west, looking for my place. Met all different kinds of folks, I seen all different kinds of faces. Lingered here and I wandered there, I was searching for my truth. From what I learned, your heart is home, and it's best to treat it true. Prairie started calling me back home. First it was a whisper, then it turned into a moan. Let the feeling take me back on down that old road. See just where it leaves me, all this prairie's called me home. Now I'm back on prairie soil, I'm back where I belong. Those big old skies and the gold for miles, well, it sure does soothe my soul. Think I'll stay, well, at least for now, till things become more clear. I'll hang my hat and I'll lean on back, I'll maybe have myself a beer. Prairie started calling me back home. First it was a whisper, then it turned into a moan. Let the feeling take me back on down that old road. See just where it leaves me, all this prairie's called me home.
Christopher James Vasseur, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. Every once in a while I'm behind the cameras and I get reminded why I do this show. It takes me back to like end of 2007 when I was putting the show together, and I had this like vision of someone coming on with an acoustic guitar and playing like a soulful song that clearly has a meaning and means something. And every once in a while something takes me back to that moment, and there it was. Thank you. I don't know if I've ever fist bumped someone on the show before, but that was a
I'm
nice little
happy and
joke.
honored to be the first one.
Thanks for reminding me why we do this.
Yeah, you betcha.
Tell me about that song. It was
Thanks for that.
absolutely goosebumps.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for
Yeah.
that. That one comes from a pretty deep place. When I went through that big change in my life back in 2018, when I moved here, and I started getting involved in the music scene here and meeting all these different people, I just started realizing the abundance of like beautiful people in this province, especially in this area. I grew up Swift Current. Not that there's not beautiful people down there, but it's just different because that's hometown and stuff. Saskatoon's a new city, and I was just really surprised by how friendly it was for a big city coming from Calgary that kind of lost its heart a little bit along the way, a little bit. It's still there, you just got to look for it. But Saskatoon is still right out there, and you can see it, and everyone's so friendly, and then the music scene is so welcoming here. And then I spent a lot of time when I first moved back contemplating things, getting my head right after all the stuff I had been through. So I did a lot of driving around the province, especially this area, and that's where this song came from, because it was just, I was struck by the beauty of the province, and I was like, wow, like, I'm kind of glad nobody really knows about this place. Like, please don't tell anybody. It's so beautiful here. and it kind of came from that, just have an overwhelming sensation of being back home where I'm supposed to be, and just like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Is that one of these songs on Love and Divorce?
Yep.
I figured it was. It
Yep.
dropped July 2022. 2 songs about love, 2 songs about heartache.
Yeah. That was one of the songs about love.
Wow, could have gone either way.
Coulda.
That was a coin toss for
Yeah,
me.
it is. And when we recorded it, actually, one of the Fabians, Fabian Minimum,
Fabian
played
one.
drums and lead guitar on that song when we recorded
You
it.
recorded it in an old church?
Not that
Not
one. That
that
one was
one?
another raised session,
Okay.
but most of the EP was done out at the Sound Castle in Viscount.
Okay.
Run by Christian Douglas. And it's one of the coolest spots in the province. Like, he converted this old church, and so the acoustics in it are just blow your mind amazing. And that's where the rest of the EP was recorded.
You showed up with just this like badass scrapbook of all your songs and lyrics, and
It's
you
my
were
song
like, what do you
Bible.
want? 5, 6, 10, 11 songs, whatever you want. So how do you decide which songs go on Love and Divorce with such a deep catalog already built up?
Well, I mean, I joked with my ex-wife when we were separating, because like we were pretty amicable, other than I didn't want to get divorced. But that's fine. We were joking around about it, and yeah, and I said I probably have an album. You know, I want to do a whole album of divorce songs. She's like, "Oh, that's such a great idea."
You're
And then-
welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Bryn, don't laugh at that. Bryn.
No, she's a lovely person. But yeah, it kind of came of that idea, and then I ended up writing quite a few after it actually happened, and then I actually did have enough for a whole album, and I'm like, I don't want to put out a whole album of divorce songs. And then I had the idea, you know, 4-song EP, 2 songs of love, and then it changed because I was writing all these sad songs, and all of a sudden I started writing happy songs. So I'm like, well,
Riding the wave.
yeah, so just that's kind of how it's been since I got here, just riding the wave. Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's how it went.
Speaking of since you got here, we have more questions since you got here. Terrible segue. Throw it back over to Bryn Kreis. Bryn, we got some more questions.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm going to make it through. Just thinking about horses,
Aren't we all?
right?
Yeah, so you actually kind of answered this question after your last song that was really beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So this is Brent. He is wondering if some of your songwriting inspiration came from when you went back home and reconnected with your roots, i.e. did coming home reconnect you with your real sound?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. 100% it did. Yeah. Yeah. Brought it out of me.
Right on. And Trisha has a question. She's wondering what song you have in the works right now.
Oh, there's a few actually. We just recorded, the band and I just recorded another one at Ray's called Hearts that we're going to be putting out probably in the new year. And then we have another song that we're hoping to record, put out another probably 4 or 5 song EP next year. And then we're going to try to get my first EP and my second EP pressed on the same record.
Cool.
So it'll be 4 songs one side, 4 songs the other side.
Right
So
on.
that's the plan
Yeah.
so far. Yeah,
It's exciting.
it is. Yeah.
Another thing I pulled from your online bio was you're a storyteller. You like to sing about historical figures, heartbreak, and ghost stories. That's quite the blender of inspiration.
Yeah. That was, yeah, I wrote that quite a while ago.
Do you have,
I should update that.
Do you inspired by historical figures?
Yeah.
That's I don't want to say odd. But that's I don't know if I've come across that yet in an artist.
Well, just a history buff.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff around here. There's such rich history here in Saskatchewan, if you dig. And like stuff like Louis Riel. It's Louis Riel Day. I think it was today or yesterday.
I think it's today.
Today, yeah. Anyway, and it's I get all my days all mixed up anyway. But that part of our history is just so relevant and so amazing. So I wrote quite a few songs about that. But then in that process, I kind of came to the conclusion that those weren't really my stories to tell necessarily. So that's kind of what that meant. But then there's some other historical things that have happened that I have like in my head that I want to do some songs about. But yeah, that's where that came from.
Well, if you make a full album of just Louis Riel songs, you can call it the Riel Deal. Don't get upset. I stole that. That's not even my own joke.
That's
I've
what it's
seen
gonna
that in
be
like
called.
a million different places. But I don't even know how we're doing for time. Let's get to another song. Let's get to a last commercial break, and we'll guess we'll do a wrap after that. I don't know.
Cool.
I've had so much fun tonight.
Ah, me
It's just
too.
it is. You know,
been a
we're down
blast.
to like 16 minutes.
Lots of horsing around.
Oh. I don't know if we have had a clap
Thank
for
you.
that camera, folks.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's the first time anyone's ever clapped for one of my jokes. So I really appreciate that.
I don't know if I've ever done a show where the conversation has just been like, you know, I'm trying to, you may say I'm trying to rein it in.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, man.
Play a song, please.
Okay.
What do we have?
We're going to another super serious one.
Okay, good. That'll take us to break.
Yeah. It's a song called Second Chances, and it's about just that.
Magic in these places is long gone. Faded smiles on these faces say much more. World kept on spinning without us, though it felt like it stopped there for a while. Lights may seem a bit brighter all around us, but darkness comes a bit less these days. Still got a long way to go to get back to where comfort and the love can once more stay. Getting second chances, growing older. Take way less glances as it goes. Find meaning in the moments and the things left between. Still got a lot more second chances left to go. Still got a lot more second chances left to go. Fire in these eyes is not the same. These memories are starting to slowly fade. The world kept on going without us, though it was hard to see that for a while. These new lives we forged have taken hold. It's hard to start again, that's for sure. Both came out fine on the other side, a little wiser from having our hearts bruised. In second chances, growing older. Take way less glances as it goes. Find meaning in the moments and the things left between. Still got a lot more second chances left to go. Still got a lot more second chances left to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher James Vasseur.
This one's for Jess. Went out for a walk today, saw some little kids at play. Thought of all the little things they had yet to say. I walked along a little more, just thinking about my life before. The birds are singing in the trees, made me feel so free. Got me thinking about my good things, play my guitar, kissing those pretty lips, staring up at the stars. Gotta think about your good things, no matter where you are. When I think about my good things, baby, there you are. Got a flat out on the road today when I was already running late. Spilled tea all over myself, and that's how I started my day. I got to work an hour late, but everything turned out okay. After all, it's just another day. Besides, when I feel this way, just think about the good things. I play my guitar, kissing those pretty lips, staring up at the stars. Gotta think about your good things, no matter where you are. When I think about my good things, baby, there you are.
We are running out of time. We are wrapping things up with Christopher James Vasseur. You talked about moving to Saskatoon and being embraced by the musical community. Obviously, CFCR plays into that a bit.
Yes.
Real quick, give a shout out. Put over CFCR, big friends
Hey,
of the show.
CFCR, best station, Saskatoon's community radio. Tune into the guitar show on Friday nights, 7:30 p.m. Me, Fabian, and Nick, we all rotate. Yeah, best little darn show about guitars out there.
But for real, CFCR, an absolute gem.
Gem.
Here in Saskatoon.
Gem. Love CFCR, everything, everyone at the station, all the hosts, just everything they do for the community. They're right here.
Before we go to Bryn, Happy Teardrops Custom Guitars.
That's this thing.
That's that thing?
Yeah, that's my logo there.
Okay.
Yeah, I built this and I started a company.
Okay.
Building guitars, and I did some commissions and stuff like that, and I realized I'm a terrible businessman. I trained as a luthier, I got certified, and now I'm kind of just doing it in the middle of switching shops, but yeah, now I'm just kind of doing custom guitars for whoever wants one whenever I feel like
And
doing
people
it.
can just Google Happy Teardrop Custom Guitars.
Yep, Happy Teardrops Custom Guitars. On Instagram, there's all my contact info, and then, yeah, send me a message, and maybe I'll build a guitar for you.
All right, before you play us out of here, let's throw it back to Bryn Chryso one last time. Bryn, let's give away some stuff.
Yes, can I squeeze in 2 questions?
You can squeeze them in. You gotta do it quick.
Okay, first one is from Calvin. This is going back to earlier. He said, you mentioned aliens earlier. Do you have a favorite alien TV show or movie?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Resident Alien first season I was watching was pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty funny stuff. Yeah, that pops in my head right away.
I'd say Al from Melmac.
Oh, I love Alfred Melmac. He eats cats.
Eats cats.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, real quick. Next question. Final question.
All right, this one's on more so about the songwriting.
Less about eating cats.
Yes.
Eating cats, okay.
Brent is asking, who is your favorite songwriter of all time?
Oh. That's tough. Probably Johnny Cash. Or George Harrison. Or Tom Petty. Or John Lennon. Or that's a tough. Probably Johnny Cash. Neil Young's up there. I don't know.
That's
Bob
a tough
Dylan.
question.
That's a hard question. But I'll go with Johnny Cash.
I'd
Final
say,
answer.
I'd say Christopher James Vasseur.
Someone actually did say that. So.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
you
let's
go.
give away stuff real quick, Bryn. I got to do the extra.
Okay. Chris, pick a number between 1 and 3.
Ooh.
Or
2.
2. Okay, that would be Trisha. Congratulations.
Nailed it.
Congratulations, Trisha. All right, we
some
got to
swag.
say thank you to our show sponsors before he plays us out of here, of course. Title sponsor, Earl's Saskatoon. Again, they support the show. Go support them. They are continuing their commitment to local music here in Saskatoon. And new sponsor, Vern's Pizza. Hairstyle in, keeping Brendan and I looking great. And E-West Music. Past episodes of Strip Down are on the Mermoose Media YouTube channel. Check those out. And that's it. We got, what can you do in about 3 minutes, sir? Can you play us out of here?
I'll play us
For the last
Sure.
time tonight,
All right.
Christopher James Vasseur. Thank you so much for those.
you
Absolute
very
pleasure.
much.
So what this show should be
It's
every
been a
week.
blast.
This guy right here.
I'll be back next week.
Woo!
No, just joking. Thanks for having me, everybody. This is a blast. This is a tune you can find on the EP. It's called Sunday Whiskey. Can't believe you were a stranger, that you seem to love me still. My mind seems such danger, so hard to love, harder to kill. Feel this may be my last song for you. Won't be home till I'm gone. So many broken edges on this fragile life. This Sunday whiskey's way too strong. This Sunday whiskey's much too strong. I'll look back to these memories we made together so long ago. It's hard for me to keep a hold on anymore. Time for me to go. Yeah, this may be my last song for you. Won't be home till I'm gone. So many broken edges on this fragile life. This Sunday whiskey's way too strong. This Sunday whiskey's much too strong. Sometimes it's hard to think about all the nice things that are gone. In this world there is some doubt. At least we'll always have this song. Fear this may be my last song for you. Won't be home till I'm gone. So many broken edges on this fragile life. This Sunday whiskey's way too strong. This Sunday whiskey's way too strong.